Okay, here's a demo of the stuff on the sheets from the workshop, and we're looking at how you can practice the triads. First of all, we're going to look at them on the top three strings, the E, B, and G strings. So the diagram there is, here's the C triad. You've got the root notes on the high E string, so C. Then you've got the fifth underneath, that's a G note, and the E note on the G string, 9th fret. That's a C triad. Then you move it to an F triad because it's an F on the high E string, then a B flat, then an E flat. Same shape, just moves around. You're just focused on what root note is on the E string at that point. So C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat. Get that all comfortable. Then you move to the next line. A flat, D flat, G flat, B. That could be G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, B if you prefer that. When that's really comfortable, then you go to the third shape, which this time has the root note on the G string. Sorry, what am I talking about? We're still on the high E string root notes. So E, A, D, and G. E, A, D, and G. Once those are all comfortable, you can stick them together. So it's C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B. E, A, D, G, C. And when that's comfortable with fingers and with you're saying it and you've got it grooving with a metronome, that one's under control. Then you move to the other shapes, which is this kind of like D shape that you learned in your first guitar lesson. The root note on here is on the B string. So we find the C, you could say on the diagram here, there isn't diagrams for that, but you get the idea. You can see it on the voice leading section of the diagram, but here's a C, here's an F, here's a B flat, here's an E flat. So C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat. Then you move to the other ones, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, A flat, D flat, G flat, B. And then for the third one, you go around with the next set, E, A, D, G. Then when that's comfortable, then you move to the other inversion, which is the root position version, which has got the root note on the G string. So C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat. I'm racing through these, but I think you get the idea. You're just methodically working through which note has the root note on it and which of the three shapes it is. You do it round the cycle, but you break that down into groups of 4 so they're manageable. Then you stitch them all together so you've got all 12. Once you've done that, you've really locked those in and you'll never have a problem with them again. Once you have the majors down, then you start working on which is the third so I can change it to make it a minor. So back to our original one where we had C, like this, then you do the same thing with C minor, F minor, B flat minor, E flat minor. Okay, and go around that and do that on each of those other three. It does sound like a lot, but once you get once you get the cycle down and once you've got the majors down, the other ones are much quicker. It gets, you really climb the hill and then you start heading down the other side. You're almost freewheeling at that point. It's nice and easy. Once you've got all those down, you really want to move on to being able to play them on the next set of strings. So instead of having just E string, B string, and D string, you want to take that high note, this is a G triad, take that note at the top, the G, and drop it down to the bottom there, in both G notes. So instead of this shape, you're going to have this shape, which has got the G as the root note. So in that you'd be going C, F, B flat, E flat, C, F, B flat, E flat. Okay, and then you work the same principle with the other shapes. The voice leading diagram there on that page shows you how do you start to integrate them around the cycle. So it's C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. Hopefully you can follow that diagram. It's pretty compressed there, so it takes a bit of deciphering, but hopefully that jogs your memory. Now that's starting on that version of a C. There's not diagrams for this available what I'm about to show you now, but you can start on this C and go C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. As well, you can start on this version of a C. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B. You might want to drop back down to that E. A, D, G, and then you're back to C. That makes sense? You need to have each inversion able to be moved around and then changed, which one's the 1, the 3, and the 5 to suit, and then grill them all in those kind of ways, both on the top 3 strings and next set. Then you want to look at common chord progressions and how you can apply those to tunes. It's probably most practical to find a tune that you're going to play this, play some triad inversions on and stick with that. But here's one that's really simple and turns up in tons. The 1, 5, 6 minor 4. So the diagram has C is the 1, then the 5 is G, then the 6 minor is A minor, and the 4 is F. So that's just using the same version. It's what's known as the first inversion. Anyway, you've got the root notes on the E string. So you can create a part C. You can hear how that's kind of outlining it. That's the first step. You can try that with any of the 3 inversions. So that was the one that's diagrammed there with the root note on the E string, but you could try it with the root note on the B string. So here we go. See if I can do it. C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F. Then you would try it with the other version, this C, C, G, A minor, and F. You try each of those. And then the last set of diagrams that spread across the 4 fretboards there, that's trying to use the voice leading idea that we did before. So here might be C, G, A minor, to F. C, G, A minor. But you might prefer a different way of doing it. You might go C, G, A minor, F, C, G, A minor, F. Maybe you like that one. Maybe you want to do one that ascends. So C, G, A minor, or that's not quite voice leading, but you can see how it creates a melodic possibility when you move between them. And then you'll find that other parts, like once you start arpeggiating them out, they start to turn into things where you don't have to play all of the notes of the chord, and then you can break it up. See if I can do something like that. C, that's just one note of the G chord. A minor, just one note of the F. You can hear how there's a 4-note little line. It doesn't feel like you're playing chords and arpeggios. It feels like you're playing a melodic hook. You can also see how that's only then one more step to creating lead lines where you're using the notes that the chords have in them to develop particular phrases as you add nice variation, direction moves, rhythmic changes, notes having different lengths. Yeah, hope that's really helpful. Cheers.